Everyone, welcome back to Gogo Mojaji Spiritual Channel. You are more than welcome, and thank you guys for some of you who have subscribed to my channel. It's much more than appreciated. Okay, so like I said, I'll be talking about reincarnation. All right, so reincarnation is actually a rebirth of a soul from one person to another. Okay, so meaning when someone dies, it's only the flesh that will actually perish, but then the soul will actually get to live once again through another person. Okay, we call it a rebirth of a soul. Okay, that's what we call reincarnation. Okay, so now what happens here is, depending on that person's karma, reincarnation can actually be good and rather bad. Okay, so most of the time the people who get to reincarnate are the people who are actually still crying to be on this earth. Hence that's why they see the need to actually reincarnate into someone else, just so that they can actually complete their soul mission. Okay, so that's exactly what is happening. But in most cases, reincarnation is actually scarce. Really, it is. It's kind of like scarce. It only happens, yes, in royal families, yes, most of the time, so that perhaps the king can live forever. You understand what I'm saying? For some kind of like royalties. Okay, that's where the incarnation happens. You will find that so that the king will actually live long and never dies, there will be a reincarnation of that king. It simply means that that king doesn't actually die, it actually reincarnates depending on the situation. Okay, but then yeah, we also have the kind of like holy reincarnation. Okay, that's the first reincarnation that actually happens. It's from the ancient. It happens back then, way back then, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. Okay, so yeah, where you will find that it's kind of like godly like. Okay, yeah, and then the next one is this one of a human being, from another human to another human. Okay, one soul will actually be reborn on another person, a baby. When the baby is born, that person's soul will actually be transmitted to another person. Okay, so now the problem comes when that person's karma is actually bad. You will find that that person will actually die at the age of, let's say, 21. So everyone who reincarnates in the name of that person will actually die at the age of 21, exactly the same way that person has actually died. Okay, I have seen such kind of reincarnation in my family. It actually happened. Okay, whereby you will find that, okay, a person who is actually being named after this person will actually die at the age of a certain age, and they actually die the same. Okay, so there must be a way for the family to actually find help and actually delete the karmic cycle, for the karmic cycle to actually be complete. It seems as though, you know, some kind of like in reincarnation can actually be evil. We still have those kind of like evil reincarnations. Remember that different strokes for different folks. Some use this kind of reincarnation for evil purpose. Okay, but for some it's actually as noble as that, just reincarnation, so that the dynasty doesn't actually die. You understand what I'm saying? So now the problems comes when you will find that people are actually dying in the family, or the karma is actually bad, and no one is actually getting some kind of like a good luck in the family. You understand, because of this karmic cycle that is actually going on and on and on. So someone must actually find a way to actually break that cycle. Okay, so depending, if you know, that's the only way you can actually fight that kind of spirits. But then if you don't, how can you do that when you don't even know exactly what is it that is happening in your family? Okay, some can cause a curse using that kind of reincarnation, knowing that there is some kind of a reincarnation in your family, and use it against you guys. Okay, so like I said, we still have such people who are still evil, doing evil deeds, to manifest whatever that they want to manifest in other people's lives. Okay, but the kind of a good reincarnation is when a king actually reincarnates, when that king dies within that 48 hours where the soul is actually roaming around. They get to capture that kind of a soul so that it reincarnates, so that the king can actually live long and the dynasty don't actually dies. But then there is some kind of like a periodic time. Okay, so when that time actually comes to an end, there is nothing you can do about it. Okay, the karmic cycle is actually over. You can't reincarnate that person's soul to someone else so that they can live over again. So it means that it's the end of the cycle, it's the end of the karmic cycle. But remember, there are things that are actually being done for the cycle to actually be completely done like that, so that no one can actually use that kind of a reincarnation against you guys. Okay, so now you will find that people, let's say that reincarnation was actually good, the karma of that person was actually good. People don't want that kind of cycle to actually end, right? They just want to be against the universe and try to reinforce the reincarnation to actually go on, whereas the time is actually over for this person, or rather for that soul to actually reincarnate into this world over and over and over again. That's when you will find that people will actually create some kind of like an evil reincarnation, whereby you will find that people will actually take the soul of that person within that 48 hours that person has actually died, and reincarnate that kind of a spirit into an animal. Okay, you will find that person will actually live once again, but then in a form of an animal. Hence you will find that, hey, you've got the elephant, the ancestors of an elephant. That's exactly where this whole thing comes from. You understand what I'm saying? That the reincarnation thing, because everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants a good karma. Okay, nobody wants a bad karma. So hence that's the reason why that thing was actually being done in the olden days. Okay, so that people can live a happily lives. So fulfilling. Okay, so mostly they will use a snake. Okay, they will use a snake most of the time to reincarnate the soul of that person in a snake. You will find that in most of the time you suffer having dreams of a snake. Okay, most of the time. And then when you go and consult, they will tell, hey, it's your forefathers, it's your grandmother, it's your grandfather. And then you wonder, how can my father show up in a form of a snake? Okay, so, or they will say you have the ancestors of a snake, or the ancestors of an elephant, or an ancestors of a lion. You understand what I'm saying? That's exactly what has been going on in the olden days. Okay, so now people are using it wrongly. They don't understand. They end up having snakes as pets, saying they have this whatever ancestors that they are having. Okay, so perhaps for some, I think maybe they just don't understand, or they don't have the knowledge exactly what is it that is happening. Remember that it is only the spirit, not necessarily a snake. Okay, you might find that people can actually see that snake within you, but then you can't see it. You don't have that kind of snake. You don't have that kind of a lion roaming around the house. I mean, roaming around your yard, but people can see it, especially those who are trying to do evil unto you. They can see the lion roaring in your face because they tried their luck on you, not knowing the kind of spirits that you possess. You understand what I'm saying? So now it only remains as spirits, the spirits. And now people using it, for some they don't actually understand, okay, that it was some kind of a reincarnation that was actually happening from the past, but then people didn't actually want to let the spirit actually go. Okay, so they wanted to prolong this reincarnation, and the more you want to prolong something, it comes with another bad karma on the side. knowingly or unknowingly so, you will create some kind of a new karma that you are not even aware, that you can't even control because you don't know. Okay, you just wanted the good things to be amongst you or amongst your family. You understand what I'm saying? Hence, there is a saying that when it comes to royalty, there's a thing that is being called the end of dynasty, of which the cycle is actually over. So now that spirit is actually moving away, going somewhere, trying to find another new home. But then you are actually blocking that spirit to move forth. Okay, perhaps you are also blocking your own blessings by trying to trap that kind of a spirit so that it can stay around, your household, or rather, let's say, uh, whatever, your kingdom, you call it. Okay, so that's the kind of a thing that is actually happening when it comes to reincarnation. Hence, we have a good reincarnation, the holiest reincarnation that is happening. That's the first one. That's kind of like holy. Okay, it happens in most like deities and things and stuff like that. And then we have the second one that happens from one person to another. You can find that karma, that karmic cycle doesn't actually end in the family. It's kind of like good or rather bad. Okay, but when it's actually bad, people can actually use that against their family so that the karmic cycle doesn't actually end. So you will find that they will always rename a person with the same name. You understand, that person's name doesn't actually die. You will find that we have so many Marthas in the family. Why do we have so many Marthas? When that Martha dies, another Martha gets, before that Martha dies, another Martha gives birth, somebody gives birth to another Martha. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, kind of like things like that. But then depending on the karma, like I said, depending on the karma of that person, that's how it's kind of like affect other people. So now you will find that people will say, hey, you have bad spirits, you are going with this evil spirit, there is some kind of evil spirit going around you. You understand, like there's some kind of like confusion when it comes to spirituality. Some people will find that perhaps it's not even a bad spirit, it's actually a reincarnation of some sort, and people call it a bad spirit. We do have some kind of like bad spirit. Bad spirit, you can get it anywhere. For some of you who just love roaming around, going around the street, not knowing what is it that you want, around 3 o'clock at night, around 12 o'clock at night, you can catch an evil spirit right there. You will find a spirit roaming around and you are drunk, and that spirit actually dwells within you. You don't know that kind of a spirit. That's what we call an evil spirit. You don't know who that person is. You don't know where they come from, but then you adopted that kind of a spirit. It's an evil spirit, that kind of a one. Okay, and the more you carry, you go along with that kind of a spirit. You find a girlfriend, you find a boyfriend, you sleep with someone, hey, you cause someone else some kind of like a problem. You will find that person is actually a male and they sleep with someone else. You will find that there are two people living within you. Tomorrow she sleeps with you, the next day she sleeps with that ghost. You understand what I'm saying? That evil spirit. So it's kind of like bad. So people kind of like mix match the spirits. Okay, so they don't actually understand which one is which one falls under which one. There are some kind of like categories going on when it comes to spirituality. So we just have to learn and actually understand what is it that is happening. Hence, when you find like you're going through some kind of like hardships in your family, or you find that something is actually not right, you know no one is actually manifesting when it comes to your family. Perhaps it's time for you to go consult and find exactly what is it that is happening. You will find that you have some kind of a spirit roaming around your family, and because you just tend to be ignorant about it, it goes on and on and on. You'll find that people are suffering, people don't actually manifest anything. You will find that there is no way that in the family everyone will be actually poor. There might be something wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So such things people must be aware of and actually pay attention to the signs as to whatever that is happening. And you will find that those kind of spirits, they end up finding peace in your family. the more the spirit dwells in a place, they grow and they actually find peace and get used to the place. And it gets even harder for you to get rid of such evil spirits, okay? So I don't know how I got into that kind of like evil spirit, because I was talking about the reincarnation. Hence, like I was trying to make sense to some so that they can actually understand the difference between reincarnation, evil spirits, you know, things and stuff like that, okay? So reincarnation happens when a person actually dies, and the spirit, remember that the spirit can actually roam in this world for plus minus 48 to close to 50 hours. Okay, that's when you can actually capture that kind of a spirit in the right manner so that it can actually be reincarnated into someone else. Okay, sometimes reincarnation actually happens to actually protect something. You will find that people are actually after something, and their spirit, your spiritual guides, whatever, uh, angels, they actually see that no, these people are up to no good. They end up taking the spirit of this person and try to hide that person, okay? So that person will actually go and reincarnate as someone else without even the family members knowing about it, because they are trying to protect the energy. You will find that that person's karma is actually good, you understand? So they're trying to use it to their own benefits or whatever, or rather wrongly. So I just don't want to go far about that. That's all I have for now. So remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button just so you will know next time when I post a video, okay? So thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you. Bye-bye.